Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the First 11, hosted by myself, Yan City, and I'm joined by my lovely ladies, Tanya, Lambs, and Rachel. We have a Spurs fan, a Chelsea fan, and a United fan tonight, so it's not three Chelsea fans and me. We're going to obviously talk about the Europa League and the Champions League. So I think we'll start with the big game that happened last night between Real Madrid and Chelsea. Lambs, what did you make of the game?
No words.
Where do I even begin? It was just glorious from start to finish. And what made me happy was we didn't even have that much possession of the ball, but we were so clinical when we did. Like we had the shots on target, the clear-cut chances, getting running in through goal. And even when Madrid had the ball, I wasn't concerned because it was just the sideways, backwards passing that I hate to see us do. So suited me perfectly well to see them do it. And predominantly, it was really calm and easy for us to deal with them. The only serious threat, I would say, was always going to be Benzema. And, I have to give huge props to Mendy for keeping us in that game, especially in that first half with those two amazing saves, because those shots were on target. And again, when Madrid did get through on goal, it was through Benzema, him being the only serious threat, I think, on goal, and Mendy keeping us in the game. Because unfortunately, once again, I was thinking maybe we're going to be in a position where we're going to root all those missed chances that we missed in the first leg, but we had the same problem in this second leg. I mean, fortunately for us this time, Timo Werner did find the back of the net twice, although on one of them he was in offside position. But unfortunately, once Timo finds the net, it seems the rest of our players can't seem to find the back because the amount of chances that we had, I mean, Kai Havertz, I completely to bring him into that starting lineup. He has shown through the minutes that he's played recently, he deserves to start. He's been brilliant, and I knew he would eventually find his form. Even if it wasn't this season, I knew next season he would start off firing. And the fact that we've seen glimpses of it towards the back end of this season just shows, oh God, next season, nobody is ready for King Kai when he arrives. That's right, Tanya. That's right.
Kane.
He hit the crossbar twice, I think, during the game as well. There was a few opportunities where they were running in through goal, and he shot at the goalkeeper and Courtois saved. I think Timo Werner had a similar chance and he saved, and N'Golo Kante had the same chance. And I was just sitting there thinking, have our players forgotten how to chip a ball? Come on, be smart, be intelligent. But talking of N'Golo Kante, that's another person I have to absolutely big up and shout out, because he was phenomenal. He was, I think, one of our best players in the first leg as well, and he was even better in the second leg. Very critical, involved in both the goals as well, linking up so well with Timo Werner and Kai Havertz to form that first goal by Timo Werner, and once again pouncing on that ball, just pouncing on it and playing that ball through to Christian Pulisic, who sets it up for Mason Mount. That second goal, and he was just everywhere, just running around. And I think there was a clip that somebody clipped up, and I saw where I think the chance that he had where he was through on goal and Courtois saved, the way he just ran, he made the run when Kai Havertz had the ball, and I was so impressed. I was so impressed. It was just we're in a final, guys.
Do you know what? You know how people say.
Wait, can I just one more before I finish up? Eden Hazard was absolutely non-existent, honestly.
He had a stinker.
He was awesome. He was awesome.
Agent Hazard did the damn
Agent
thing.
Hazard,
You saw him, literally, he didn't come to play. He didn't come for the game. He came to catch up with the mandem, because you saw before the whistle, he was busting jokes, spudding, man. He didn't care that they just got knocked out of a semi-final, the chance to get into a final, and all they really needed was one goal.
Yeah. Do you know what's mad? Because when you get them games and people say or like it should have been 6. Like that actually should have been 6. That's not if not more. You know what I mean? That was one of them games where, you know, when people say it should have been 6, it should have been 6. Like Chelsea should have scored 6 goals in that game. That, you know what, like for me, like obviously when I watched it, like I know that Real Madrid aren't the team that they were, because Man City last season played them and I thought we knocked them out quite easily considering what I expected, which was madness, you know, because people, you know, I get people slating me all the time for rating Gabby, and, you know, Gabby knocked them out last season, so that says it all. Now it's Werner, so it, you know what I mean, these people that get mocked in the Prem and knocking out Real Madrid. So that says it all. But yeah, I thought Hazard was quiet against us as well. Like, I don't remember playing against Hazard. I don't remember. Like when he was at Chelsea, I remember playing against him. But yeah, I don't remember for Real Madrid, to be honest. So that says it all. But yeah, I thought they were really bad.
We scammed Real Madrid with that. We scammed them with that.
Chelsea were really, really good. As much as I wouldn't take anything away from Chelsea, I thought Mendy was brilliant in the first half.
Yeah.
And of course, the second half, Kante won man of the match in both games. So he did actually get man of the match. But yeah, he's great anyway. But yeah, I just thought Real Madrid were as good, as much as you were good, they were also really bad. It was a weird.
They were horrendous. Like, bad doesn't even describe it. I'm sorry. Like, they didn't even know how to pass the ball in that game. Side to side, slow. It's like there was no aggression.
They couldn't cope with Chelsea. Couldn't cope. Chelsea were just too good.
In the beginning, Chelsea sort of played like a low block at times, and they kept, because at the end of the day, they didn't need to do anything really. They knew exactly how to take down Real Madrid, and Real Madrid had a lot of the ball. They had like 66% possession at one point, and you're just like, they didn't do anything with it. Side to side, they were running towards the final third, and then they just went backwards. It's like watching United without Pogba and Bruno.
Basically, so Fred and McTominay.
I think Swansea would put out a better performance than that. Honestly, like someone joked that it was like playing Swansea, and it's like that's disrespectful to Swansea, because they honestly, that's the worst. Like for a semi-final, that must be the worst team, like the worst performance from a team in a semi-final second leg.
I think I heard something where if West Ham finish 5th and we win the Champions. And we stay in the obviously we finish in the top 4, then I think if either of us win the Champions League, because we're already both in the top 4 at the moment as it stands, then West Ham I think get in.
It's weird, isn't it?
Champions League, so they'll be in the Champions League next season.
So
weird.
It's crazy though. I'd be really happy for them. I'd be really happy if they did that.
I'm happy for them. I'd like to.
No, guys. No.
But you're a Spurs fan. So
No.
In the goddamn mud, right?
Stop it, people. Stop it. No, but can I just say, right, Chelsea, listen, I'm very, very jealous. I'm jealous of both City and Chelsea. And I tweeted this out. I said, it's no surprise that the teams with the most ambitious owners are in the final. And I was getting all kinds of stick, or should I say saltiness, from Spurs fans saying, oh, yeah, the owners that have all this oil money. And I'm thinking, listen, how is Edic and Levy working out for us? I would love to be a City or a Chelsea right now. I think Tuchel, you're right, Lambs. I think you were saying it before we were going live. He's up there for me with Pep right now. Like, this guy, I don't know what he's done with Chelsea, but players like Christensen, Rudiger, Aspi, I forgot about these men, and they are just playing out of their skin right now. Honestly, Rudiger had a top performance. I have to say. Up there with like a Ruben Diaz at the minute. And you have to say, players like Mason Mount, Ben Chilwell, Havertz, these are young guys, and they're bossing it in a Champions League semi-final. I have to give them credit, man. Honestly, I have to give them credit. And I actually think it could go either way in the final. I think City played brilliantly against PSG, but listen, I don't think it's a wrap for City. I think it's going to be tough. Because Tuchel, the way he sets Chelsea up, they're so hard to beat. So it will be interesting, and I can't wait. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Do you know what? We'll get to like predictions at the moment, but I was saying before, like you can't really call City and Chelsea in general, even before Tuchel came in, Pep came in. It's hard to call. But I do think, and a few people have said it now, whoever gets the first goal will probably win it because of the way that Chelsea play and because of the way that Man City can play when they're on top. So yeah, I think it's going to be first goal wins. Kind of like, I know the semi-final was a little bit different because Man City's team was not the team that's going to play in the Champions League final, but you know, I think the same way that you kind of went 1-0 up and then just maintained it, I think that's what will happen. So I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest. Like, I'm looking forward to the fact we're in a final because I've waited a long time, but I'd rather not watch it.
I think it's, do you know what? I think it's sad, like, when you get to a final and you're buzzing that you've got to the final, but if you lose it, it is so much pain. It is pain. It's the worst feeling.
Well, yeah, I think we all know that, don't we? To be fair,
we all know the feeling. Like, wait, hold on. Have City lost the final yet?
Oh no, they haven't.
So Jan doesn't know the feeling, but all of us here, we know the feeling because he's lost a big final. So.
Well, that's what I was saying before is a lot of teams get to a final and lose before they win it. The only thing that gives me a bit of confidence about Man City is the fact that we've got Pep. And Pep doesn't do that whole get into a final and losing. So I'm hoping that Pep can get over the line. But yeah, it's not going to be easy, man. Nah.
But I don't know. I feel like you're kind of evenly matched because you are the two teams that have the top managers. You've got the in-depth squad to change things up. You both have managers that set teams up right with tactics. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. It could go to penalties, couldn't it?
Oh, imagine that.
No, penalty shootouts are hell. I'm sorry. Like, I know we won our one against Chelsea, but it was like, no, I can't. The stress. The fact that we had to watch, like, John Terry slip for us to win that penalty shootout, I don't think you understand. Like, it's madness. Well, Lam understands.
Can you stop? I'm having PTSD right now. Can you stop?
Oh my god.
Penalty shootouts are scary, I'm not gonna lie.
Because that was, listen, when Ronaldo missed it, I was like, oh my god, we've won. Oh my god,
I was fuming. I was so mad.
Because Ronaldo missing a penalty in a Champions, I was just like, it's written in the stars, it's written in the stars.
No,
I see this clown walking up to the penalty spot, and I'm like, what? None of our strikers. What's wrong with Anelka? What's wrong with these man? What's wrong with these man? Why are they? And when it went sky high, the way my heart just dropped because I was like, that's it. I knew that was it. I knew even if we scored the next one, they were gonna score the next one. That's it. Like, and when the camera went to all the United players, especially Ronaldo's face, because he was the one that missed, the relief, they were like, Jesus. You can see the light go in there. You can see the light just like spark up in their eyes and go out in our eyes.
Yeah, it's mad. Oh, yeah, it's difficult. To be fair, watching a penalty shootout like that.
They're terrible. Like
but as a neutral, they're brilliant though. They're brilliant.
Yeah, as a neutral. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I'm not. The last time we were in a penalty shootout was against Liverpool. The time before that was against Chelsea, and the time before that was against Leicester. I think we had 2 against Leicester. We've had quite a few. Man City's record is not bad, but I don't want to be there to know. I want.
Might happen, guys.
I know that Mendy hasn't saved a single penalty, so I don't want it to go to penalties. I'm not confident in some of these young freshmen stepping up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
to take a penalty against man like Edison, I can't. My heart won't be able to take it. I can't.
You know what though? Like I just want, like, regardless of what happens, like I just want Aguero to have a say in whether we win it or not.
Yeah, even that would be brilliant.
If he comes on and he plays 20 minutes, if it's 1-0 Chelsea, he has time to get to make an impact. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want it to be like 1-0 Chelsea. Aguero doesn't play, and you know what I mean. I think Pep needs to give him his chance to turn it around. If he doesn't, then he has to leave Man City without winning it. But I want him to have a say in it because he deserves it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. It'll be sad if Man City were to win it, but Aguero didn't really play a part in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was heartbreaking.
It's really sad if you think about it, but you know.
Yeah, I think
I can't have both Manchester clubs breaking my heart like this in the Champions League final. It's just too much. It'll be too much.
Manchester is supreme.
Man United beat you and it makes me more nervous. Like, this is just, I don't even know.
You guys got the pressure.
It's going to be pressure regardless. Like, Man City are under a lot of pressure. But I was speaking to Ryan, who's in the comments actually today, and we were saying, like, depending on how the top 4 race goes, it's going to be interesting because if, for example, we did beat Chelsea at the weekend and then, you know, maybe Arsenal draw or something like that, and Chelsea go into that final not in the top 4, that makes it an interesting final in itself because then you need to win it. So I think if you've already secured top 4, I don't think Chelsea are under any pressure really because it'll all the pressure will be on Man City to win it.
Because you guys really, really want this. Like, that's the trophy that Team Pep have been trying to win. Yeah.
The only thing that I would say is, like, because it's our first final, I don't know whether we'll win it. Like, I don't know. The Man City in finals are good, but
that's the thing.
I think you guys are gonna. I think you guys are gonna win it.
How many finals has Pep lost?
I can't call it. Can't call it.
Sorry.
No, I just think Man City are stronger.
It's so weird because Pep hasn't lost that many finals, but Tuchel, having already got to a Champions League final the year before, will really want to win it this time.
Yeah,
like, did you see the look that him and Thiago Silva gave each other after the full-time whistle? They were just like, we're here again. We made it, and we did it again. So determined to win it, but then Pep in finals.
You know what?
The only thing I will say though with Tuchel and Chelsea is that I've doubted Chelsea. I said they're not going to beat Atletico. They beat Atletico. No chance against Madrid. Beat Madrid comfortably as well. So I don't know. For me, I think Chelsea have the bottle to do it.
Yeah.
But like you say, Pep, this is his moment. He wants this so bad, and so do all the players. So, oh God, I can't wait now. I actually can't wait. I'm glad I'm not supporting anyone. Like, I'm just gonna watch it. Do you know what I mean? But
we're gonna see each other four times this season.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you know what's mad?
It's one apiece.
Anita was actually saying, she was like, she thinks if you beat us at the weekend, then Tuchel probably won't beat Pep 3 times. So she was saying, like, she'd rather take maybe a draw so that when they get to the final, he can win. But I don't know, because I don't think what happens this weekend will really have any impact because it's a Champions League final. It's different. Secondly, like, we've seen that before. Like, I know a lot of people were saying when we had Man United in the semis of the Carabao Cup, everyone was saying, "Oh, well, Ollie's beaten Pep," but it's like, yeah, but in the semi-final, it didn't matter because Man City went to, win the trophy. So I don't know. I don't think it'll play too much, but I think if Man City get beat this weekend, I think it'll put some doubt in our players' minds. Like, can we beat this Chelsea team under Tuchel? So I think Man City need to get a positive result at the weekend if we can. But yeah, I don't know. It could go either way. I can't tell you until the night when I see how Man City play. I can't tell you what the score is because I don't know. Like, literally don't know. Do you know what? There's so many Chelsea fans.
Yeah, there is, to be fair. There's a lot.
I just
Indiana something
at
else.
the end of that, and he goes, also, I would only have to block
Do you know what? He makes a good point to me.
You wouldn't even have to block me. I'm not unbearable.
Yeah,
You're not.
humble. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys, this is what winners look like. This is what winners feel like. They don't need to like troll. They don't need to get onto people. They don't need to remind you of how shit your team is. Because
No,
then
it's only Jan. It's only Jan. Let's be
Oh.
real. Both of our fan bases are unbearable when we're winning. Liverpool are probably the worst. Tottenham, well, we haven't got there yet, but we'll get there one day.
Thanks for that.
You know what, though?
it's Liverpool and Arsenal, I think, that are the worst. Like, they really are the worst.
Oh no, Chelsea fans are pretty bad. And so are United.
All about them. It's like, how are you making it about you? You didn't even get close. But do you know what? It's madness, though. But I think, like, I said it earlier. I think it was on like a stream a day or two ago, and I was, I was literally like, I don't have to do too much talking this season because Man City literally do it for me. Like, I'm like, I don't know if City will win, and then City go out and convincingly win. So I'm just like, okay. So I don't know. Like, it would be a shame for Aguero's last game to be that he loses the Champions League final. It would be a shame, but it could happen. It could happen. I don't know.
Talking of Manchester City, can we just big up Riyad Mahrez for that performance?
Oh my God. He is.
Do you know what? Riyad Mahrez, yeah, I think he deserves some respect. Put some respect on that guy's name.
He's underrated, to be honest.
He is massively underrated.
Yeah, the ex-Leicester boys have shone this week. Kante, Mahrez.
And they both come from the same place because they were both in like the second division in France at the same time at like 23 years old. So, you know what? It's madness. Like, for me, like, Mahrez has had its critics. Like, what I've always said about Mahrez is that he doesn't shine in our team. This is before now, obviously.
Yeah.
He didn't shine in our team, and it was because, you know, at Leicester, he was one of the main men. So it was like he had a lot of space to run into, and he'd do all these tricks and flicks, and then he would take a shot and it would go in. But at Man City, because a lot of people almost like park the bus against us, he doesn't get as much space. So like when he gets the ball, he's got limited time to kind of do something with it. And then he'll do his tricks and flicks and whatever. But then it's like the ball's almost like gets blocked every time he tries to hit it. So it's different. So we weren't seeing the best of Riyad Mahrez. And I actually said at the start of the season, I was like, it wouldn't surprise me if he left to go to a team where he's going to start every week, because I thought he was too good to be on the bench. And that's what I said. But this season, like, Algeria have their own like fan, like Mahrez.
Yeah, he's loved. Oh my God, he's like God in Algeria.
He's a God, yeah, I was just gonna say.
I'm not surprised that he won them the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah,
Egypt. So that's like big for them. But you know what it is like with him, like his fan base. Like every time Man City bench Mahrez, they'd all be under the comments, like under Man City's official page, like, you don't know football, you don't play Mahrez.
Wow.
He's crap. That's what they were saying, like madness under the thing, right? And everyone was like, almost didn't like Mahrez because of the fan base, because they were so annoying. Like, actually were annoying. Like if I tweeted like Mahrez,
people don't know Algerians, North Africans in general, like they take things very, very personally.
They do,
They were not having it. They were not having it. So a lot of City fans were like, you know what, Mahrez fans are annoying, but like people are now saying maybe they were right, because he is on fire. He is on fire at the moment. Like, I can't say anything negative. The only reason for me why he hasn't got player of the season right now is because Ruben Diaz has just been.
Oh my God, that guy, I swear to you, he is Terminator. Like, he is an absolute beast. The way he defended in that game, and what I love about him is that he takes pride in it. He loves defending. He absolutely loves it, and that is what you call defending. Honestly, Dyer, Sanchez, please just take a small leaf, just a small leaf out of Diaz's book, please. Oh, what a player! He's player. Huh?
Oh, go on. Sorry, go on.
No, I was done. To be fair, I was done.
No, I was saying it's crazy because there's not a lot of centre backs in the world at the moment who you can actually say are good. Like, I was having this conversation with Indiana. I was like, name the top 3 centre backs in the league. You can't. I'm not including Van Dijk because he's injured, but obviously Diaz is there. Who's next?
Rudiger.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he's had a decent season, but like, it's difficult, isn't it, to pick 3 very good centre backs? Like, even going on to
I
World Cup
would
like that.
I would say because maybe he's only kind of come good under this new manager, Rudiger, because obviously he was almost cast out under Lampard. I would say there is a huge gap between him and Ruben Diaz. But if we were to pick who's the second best after Ruben Diaz, then it has to be Rudiger because of the huge turnaround he's made under two, I think.
No, but she's right though.
Oh,
Like
gosh,
there's a massive shortage of top centre backs, and that's why I worry about us, because that's a massive area in our team that we need to invest in. But it's difficult. Where are these top CBs? And if there is any, they're already at good clubs and they're very unattainable. They'll cost the money. Yeah, exactly. We ain't got that.
You guys are screwed. I think Spurs are in trouble. If I'm being honest with you, I think they're in a lot of trouble. I think your days of being a top 6 team are pretty much over.
Could even say we were never a top 6 team. We could even say we weren't a top 6 team, mate. Honestly,
you had a solid 2 years.
How do you feel knowing that Abramovich almost bought Tottenham?
I know the story. It's mad. He did almost buy Spurs. I mean, he made the right decision, didn't he?
You could us right now. Like you could have been sitting in my position right now.
Oh, guys, you're actually evil. Guys, why are we talking about Spurs? Okay, Spurs are not even in Europe. Let's not talk about them, please. It's too painful. It's too painful.
Okay, we'll go. Obviously, we've already kind of touched on it. We'll just touch quickly on PSG Man City. Obviously, it was 2-0, 4-1. So yeah, I thought City from when I watched it, like I was stressed at the beginning because I was thinking one goal is, even though I was happy we got 2 away goals, I was like, one goal is not that much. If they score early, I think Man City will be under a bit of pressure. The one thing I will say about City this season, and this is what I've said all along, when we go 1-0 down, we don't panic anymore. So I did expect Man City to just maintain sort of what we're doing, regardless of, if they score. But yeah, I thought City really were good in the first half to get the goal. I thought PSG were a little bit better, but than they were sort of in the second half of the first leg, because that was terrible. But yeah, I thought they were a little bit better. But Diaz just blocked absolutely everything. First it was Stones and Zinchenko, and then it was Ruben Diaz. Like all 3 of them, and Kyle Walker as well. Like all 4 of them really. A fantastic performance, and I don't think because I was on a few streams today and everyone was going Neymar shit, and I'm like, I don't think Neymar was that bad. I just think every time he had the ball there was 3 City players on him. Like I think he just blocked everything off. I don't think PSG were as bad as people are making out. I thought they were okay.
I don't think they were good enough.
They were terrible. They were even worse in this whole game than they were.
They didn't have a shot.
Because at least in the first leg, they actually started off really well in the first half. I think the reason why they looked so bad in the second half is because everyone was thinking, how can you capitulate from that great first half performance? And then to add to that, the absence of Mbappe meant that Neymar was meant to step up.
But why didn't Mbappe come on at all? Like that for me is a bit
injured.
He shouldn't have been on the bench.
Injured.
Right. Yeah, he shouldn't have been on the bench, if I'm honest with you. Like he had I think it was a hamstring injury or something like that. That's massive. You can't have that injury and sit on the bench. That's crazy. But can I just say, PSG are freaking Neymar and Inshallah.
Do you know why they are on the bench though? Because if you think about it, even though he shouldn't have been on the bench, I think if Man City go 1-0 down, and we think that Mbappe's on the bench, that's more likely to make Man City start panicking and then make mistakes. I think it was a tactical sort of mental thing rather than because he had no intention of bringing him on. No intention. He didn't even.
We've seen managers in the past like play mind games of like their best players, like, even if they're like injured and like they know they can't play. If their team kind of get a goal back and they only need like 1 more goal or something, to kind of like urge the team on and to rest their opponents. So say like a half injured Messi or something, if Barcelona get like a goal back or something, even though Messi is like really injured, put him on in the last 10 minutes, even though you're probably sacrificing like the man because he's not fully fit. Just that mentality could be enough to rattle other teams. Sometimes it works, not all the time, but sometimes.
I'm sorry, but that's the extent of Poch's tactical nous. I'm sorry, this guy.
It's poor. It's so poor.
Yeah, do you know what's funny? I've been saying this for a while, right? And people, because you know our fan base with Poch, it's like it's unhealthy what's happening with our fan base and Poch. It really is. Like the love for Poch is probably higher than what Spurs fans love for Poch is, and that's saying something.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That is crazy. What the hell?
It's nonsense. It really is. Like I just don't see it from Poch at all. I think, don't get me wrong, he's a good coach, I think, but I don't think he's a good manager, personally, from what I've seen of him. And my dad's a Spurs fan, and he said basically the same.
Yeah, do you know what, Poch? I will always hold my hands up and say his in-game management not good enough. It's not good enough. When he was at Spurs, he would make substitutions in the 75th minute, and at times you'd think they're the right substitutions, but you've just made them too late in the game. I just think that for me is an element of his management skills he needs to improve on. But I don't know. I think he's in a bit of trouble, to be honest, because I think if they don't win the French league and now they've not won the Champions League, I mean, you have to say it's a bit of a failure. You have to say that, because Champions League, I know it's always tough, but to not win the French league, I mean, that's a given for them. So to not win that, I think
they'll probably still end up winning it, to be honest with you. They're not getting that far behind, are they? They're like 2 points behind or something. Like, I'm sure they'll be fine. They'll win it.
But I think what makes it so excited is the whole mentality thing, like recently being knocked out of the Champions League semi-final, knowing that this is kind of do or die, knowing that it is still that close, knowing that the other teams you're competing against understand that it's that close. And I think to finish up with, they're kind of all playing each other as well. So it's going to be quite close, I think. So they could, there's a chance for them to take points off one another, and that could those last 2 games or 3 games, I think, is it remaining? How many is left?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Like that one game, can you imagine that could turn the tables so quickly, and all of a sudden this whole mentality that's just shaking Poch, shaking PSG in their current circumstances, who knows, maybe Lille could just run away with it.
The thing is, Tottenham fans have this theory now that Lille will win and then PSG will sack Poch and then we're going to get Poch back. Now, if I'm being honest, I love Poch, but I don't want him back because I just feel like once you close the book, just keep it closed. Like, it's done. It's done. But some Spurs fans, they want him back. So, I don't know.
I think if that happens, right, Spurs fans are going to start to understand what everyone with a brain sees. And that he's not as good as they think he is. I don't get me wrong, he's not a bad manager or anything like that. I just don't think he's anywhere near what people think he is, honestly.
I think the problem is when a manager has a good season, everyone kind of overrates them to the point where they then can't get back from that. So it's like, oh no, they're as good as Pep. And then it's like, but are they as good as Pep? Well, no, he is because he's done this. And it's like, no, there's kind of levels to management, you know what I mean? And the managers themselves, how many of the managers are looking at other managers and getting inspiration? I think I saw when Chelsea first signed Tuchel, he was reading a book on Pep Guardiola. They're still learning from each other. So it's just, I'm not saying Poch is, because you never know with Poch. He has, he was great for Spurs. He did take Spurs to another level at that time. And I think he might be good in the past, but in the future, but some of the jobs that these managers are getting, I think, are a little bit too big for them.
Do you know what it would be like?
But yeah, go on, sorry.
You know what it would be like if, say, Spurs were to take Pochettino back into their club. Imagine, say, dating somebody who you really love. You care about them a lot. They've given you a lot. You care about them. You've created great memories with them. But suddenly they become a drug addict. And I'm talking hard drugs.
Where are you going with this?
What is happening?
And no. But obviously, you still love them. But it's just you're kind of going down a path that I don't really see myself I don't really see myself affiliating with. Do you know what I mean? And then after a while, they're like, oh, okay, well, I've gone somewhere else. I've learned. I've gotten better. But it's just have you? Really, you always care for them, but taking them back is just really. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not.
I wouldn't want it personally.
Like, yeah, it's
I wouldn't
almost
want
like,
it.
it's almost like you care for the person, but you deserve better. So it's the same for Tottenham. Like, you're always going to care about Pochettino, but you deserve to do better. You can't go back.
100%. 100%.
Sorry,
And
that metaphor is a bit extreme.
it's a great metaphor. I just think with Poch, I think the hype came from the fact that he did massively overachieve at Spurs. When you look at the conditions that he's had to work in with owners that don't spend money, 2 transfer windows without buying a single player, to get Tottenham to a Champions League final, we're just little old Tottenham. That's massive. So I think that's why people were like, whoa, Pochettino, like if he can do that at Tottenham in such limited resources, imagine what he could do at a United. And I think that's why fans were getting excited. But I agree with Jan. I think PSG and all these other big clubs, I think it's too big for him personally. I really do.
Though, you guys had the best defense in the league and the best striker. Like, you just needed to sort out your midfield. And even then, you still had Eriksen, who was fantastic there as well. You had like Wanyama. You know, you did have a very good team.
Eriksen.
You had a very good team. Like,
Oh, is that just me? I was a bit.
I never know.
It's usually always me with my internet.
Yes, thanks. Well, yeah, to be fair. What happened, Rachel? Yeah, what was you saying?
I have no idea.
Oh no! I feel like you was coming on to something really good. I was listening, but
yeah,
there.
She was talking about what Pochettino had, like, so
the team,
they had a good defense and a good attack in Harry Kane and Heung-min Song as well, and even Lucas Moura as well.
Well, we had good fullbacks as well. We had Danny Rose, we had Carl Walker, we had an actual spine.
Jan Vertonghen as well was
Toby.
Good. Yeah, Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen were doing bits.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, you have to, in a way, as much as you love Poch, you have to question, why did that team not win anything? Like, that was a good team, and at that time, you know, teams like Chelsea, even
in the mud,
Man United, they weren't great, you know, and we didn't win nothing. But again, I think it's not just down to Poch, it's the players, it's the football club, the mentality is just it's on the floor, isn't it? It's on the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was such a good defense. Honestly, we missed that massively, man. When you have a good defensive partnership, you only have to look at the teams at the top right now. Chelsea and City got a good defense. I think that is the difference. That's what takes teams to the next level. You have a good defense as well as an attack and a midfield. That's it.
Like, do you remember, guys, we conceded 66 goals last season. We still made top four.
Yeah, wow.
Wait, what? You conceded 66 goals?
Yeah, they conceded loads of goals last season.
No, 66 goals in the Premier League. That's not counting other competitions.
Yeah, that was mad.
Competitions, probably about 70, I kid you not, which is terrible, right? Yeah. And people are still sitting there backing Lampard with chest. So I'm like, okay, give this guy the players he wants. If he doesn't improve our defense, then he has to go. And clearly we saw what happened. So defense, literally, Tanya's right. Once you improve your defense, everything else comes afterwards.
It's the key. I'm telling you, it's the key.
100%.
Yeah, because we've, like, Man City in previous seasons, we've always had a problem defensively. Like, we had Vincent Kompany, who was key, but he was injury prone towards the end. So it was like Vincent Kompany would come in usually at the end of the season to take us over the line, you know, with a Premier League or whatever it was. But in the Champions League, a lot of the time, it's too inconsistent, our back four. We're switching it a lot. And I always said that we wouldn't win the Champions League with the defense that we had. And if you look at all our results, like, people laugh at us going out to teams, but if you look, it was always like 4-4, 6-6. Like, like, it was
like an away goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. We only conceded like 3 away goals. We conceded 3 away goals to Monaco, 3 to Spurs, I think 2 to Liverpool, but they'd already won in the first leg. It's just like these sorts of results, and it's like last season, obviously Lyon, that was a little bit different. But the rest of them, it was like we just conceded too many goals, and that's why Like this season, we just look different. Like we're not conceding too many goals now. And obviously, like with Ruben Diaz, you know, he's just come in and just completely changed our back line. And hopefully that means we can kind of go further. But even if we don't win the Champions League this year, I said before, like obviously Man City got even near a final. I was like, I think we'll win it within 3 to 5 years. So like within like now in 3 years or now in 5 years, I think we'll win it. So I think even if we get to a final and don't win, I think we'll go back there. And I think we'll get the the next time. But it's just, we're getting closer to where we need to be. And that's why I'm happy that we're through, because, you know, we need to get to a final. You need to get to a final. Whether you win or lose, you need to get to the first final. And then once you've done that, try and get back there again and either win it again or try and get there and win it for the first time. So we'll obviously have to see what happens. We'll move on to the Europa League. Man United, I think, were already in the final, if we're being honest, last week.
Yeah.
Bit of a weird game tonight. I didn't watch it.
It was a bad game.
Roma had like 11 shots on target. So
yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, right.
Our team was trolling. That's all I can say. They were trolling. Like, defensively, we were horrendous. Our midfield looked really dodgy. I said it on Twitter. Like, I felt like it wasn't balanced. It felt, I don't know how to explain it. They didn't get much control in the midfield. They looked like they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
At times, like Pogba was losing the ball. Donny looked a little bit out of sorts at times. I think he was playing at the left at one point as well. Like he moved to the left. It was weird. It was a really weird game. But Cavani missed 2 massive chances before he scored. Like he should have scored more than 2 goals today. But it was a weird game. But because I was so confident we were going through anyway, I didn't care. I said before the game, I didn't care if we lost today. We were going to win, like overall. So I didn't really care. But yeah, it was a really bad performance.
I was just watching the watch along, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's like they've nearly scored again!" Like, and then I looked at the stats, and it was like 11 shots on target from Roma. I was like, "What? Like, how?"
I just saw the Twitter timeline. Man United fans are going crazy. I'm just like, guys,
funny.
chill. You're through. But
Do you know what's
they're just
crazy,
panicking.
You know what's crazy? For a really long time, people. So the whole McFred thing, right? Like everyone knows my feelings on those two. Like we don't need to go into that. But what I have said in the last few weeks is that Ollie is justified in playing them because we don't have a midfield combination that makes any sense apart from those two, because they give you the tenacity that you need to get the ball forward towards the forward players. Do they win the ball back well? When you start putting Pogba in the pivot and then you play him alongside Fred, which happened today, Pogba is deeper because Fred can't hold a midfield. Right? It will be the same thing with McTominay, and everyone complains, "Oh, Pogba's too deep. Pogba's too deep." Well, it's because he's the only one that can come close to holding a midfield out of them. You know what I mean? It's just, oh gosh. And then like the whole Donny van der Beek thing, I've been saying he shouldn't play in the pivot, but you know, our fan base don't seem to understand how our players play.
How do you feel about Donny van der Beek? Like, what is his future at United? Is he there to just be a squad player? Is he there to try and break into the first team? I feel like it's a signing that shouldn't have been made, in my opinion.
You know what?
I really don't.
It's a signing that shouldn't have been made because we don't have a CDM. Quite simply, you can't put. Do you know what it is? Donny for me is a 10. Like he's not someone that plays deeper in the midfield unless you have a defensive midfielder who can hold the midfield. Because what you'll have is, if you play him alongside Fred, for example, Fred's a player that likes to win the ball very high up the pitch. So you play Donny with him, Donny's going to have to play as a 6 because Fred's winning the ball higher up. Otherwise, you'll have no one there if Donny starts to vacate his position and go further forward. You'll literally have no one in front of the defence otherwise. So he's a very good player, very intelligent football player. His movement's fantastic. He's just a very good player, but I don't want to see him deeper. That's not where he does like the damage. He has to be further up the pitch. And our fan base seems to have this incredible imagination when it comes to our players, where they believe that they can do things that they can't do. It's astonishing to me. It's like they don't watch players. They just see them on FIFA. Oh, this guy's got a really high rating. Let's put him in midfield. That's what they do. They don't think about what they're saying at all. They don't watch players play. They just hear that a player's good and they're like, okay, you can play him here, you can play him there. But you can't, because he's not that kind of player. So until we get a defensive midfielder, our midfield is going to be McFred. and then Bruno Fernandes, and then Pogba on the left. That's what's going to happen.
Honestly, Rachel, I used to say this kind of stuff all the time, like when I was doing like previews and reviews, and I used to say, listen, Mason Mount is not as versatile as everybody makes him out to be. We tried him as a winger, he stinks. Yeah, we tried him as a 6, he stinks. We tried him as a false 9, he stinks. Okay, we know what his position is. Okay, don't there's no ifs buts around it. We know what his two kind of play floats around it. So it really astounds me when people sit there like, oh, this person's a flop. And it's just literally, there was already issues. Like Tanya said, I don't think that Ollie even really wanted Donny van de Beek in the place.
Yeah, he probably wasn't.
I don't think he knows where to play him. Like, he doesn't fit into this system that Ollie kind of has going at the moment. There's no place for Van de Beek. So it's just kind of like, no wonder he's sitting there kind of, looking lost, because he doesn't really fit into the system. It's not suited to him. And I feel like he's playing him out of position is not doing him any favors. And we saw a lot of that with Lampard, with what he did with our new signings at the beginning of the season, and people were calling them flops. And I'm just like, no, they're not. But it's because they're being played out of position. It's not them.
Do you know what it is as well?
Donny.
Midfielders now, they're not like the midfielders of 15 years ago where they can do everything. They're not. They're specialist players who excel in one area and can't do another thing. So, it's like what you said with Mason Mount, right? Back at 15 years ago, a player like Mason Mount would be able to do a little bit of everything. So he could play in various roles. He could play in a 2, he could play in a 3. It doesn't work like that now. Midfielders are very, very
limited.
Yeah, they are very limited. It's like the whole thing with Thiago at Liverpool, right? So he came into Liverpool, and people expected him to just slot into the midfield. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
you can't just play him
so
as
true.
They're not playing him in that position. He doesn't fit in their system because they have a gegenpress style. It doesn't make any sense. You buy a player to either suit your system or you change your system, right? And what Thiago's like, they brought him in as a different sort of midfielder and expected him to come up with miracles when he's not that kind of player. And this is what people are expecting with Van de Beek now. He can't just come into our midfield, into the double pivot, and then play his game. Because first of all, it won't help us defensively, and we don't have a defensive midfielder. So we'll just be overrun and we'll concede more goals. McFred stop us from doing that. Yeah. But yeah, our club's a mess, to be honest. Our midfield is a joke. Makes me ill.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're through to the final, girl. You're through to the final.
Yeah, no, we are. I'm happy about that. But I sort of celebrated that last week, if that makes sense, because I already knew we were going through. So
yeah, of course.
I need to go on to Arsenal, if I'm honest with you.
Oh, mate.
Talking of, I think we should start with Tanya for this. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
Listen. Do you know what? I'm going to be absolutely shameless tonight. I couldn't care less. Spurs are in the mud, 100%. But Arsenal, listen, you can always rely on them. You can always rely on them to be even worse. I said it, yeah. I said it. It would be so sweet, yeah, if they face Villarreal and Unai Emery knocks them out. And what happened? What happened? Mr. Good Evening himself. Mr. Good Evening himself. He took Arsenal out of the Europa League, and I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. They've got nothing left now. We are not Ian Bill FC. They're Ian Bill FC. Absolutely nothing left. And Arteta is in the mud, comparing him to Pep, saying he's better than Ollie. Oh, please. Honestly, get out of here. And as for Thomas Partey, what a loser. Atletico Madrid to play for Arsenal. Did you see him tonight? Absolute shit show. Bellerin dead. Absolutely dead. Crying about Aubameyang. What did he do? He didn't do anything tonight. I mean, to be fair to him, I felt it was hard to get when they needed a goal. I mean, what was Arteta playing out there? Completely and utterly clueless. But I think why it's so embarrassing. Like, Villarreal was so dead. I was tweeting it the whole night. I was like, if Arsenal don't win, like, what is going on? Because Villarreal, for me, they had nothing. Going forward, I felt they were so poor. But it was a defensive masterclass, I have to say. Like, they defended brilliantly. I was worried because their best player got injured, and I was thinking, you know, Arsenal, they're so jammy, they're going to score in the like 85th minute or something, but it didn't happen, and I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. I don't care. I love it. I love it. Arsenal in the third. Woo, 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 woo.
Love that.
The reason why I'm giving the smoke, I'm just giving them the same energy that they were giving us when we got knocked out to Zagreb. And you know what? It's absolutely fair. It's absolutely fair. So, you know, I'm just, you know, giving back to the community. I'm giving back, you know? One off, man. On them, man. I'm sick of it. Because literally, I said it beforehand, they bring it on themselves. They made a music video about this guy, this Partey. Who does that? Only Arsenal fans do this stuff. I'm so sorry, but only Arsenal. They thought they were getting top 4. You know, they big up players like Ceballos, calling Smith Rowe the Croydon De Bruyne. It's like, okay, Smith Rowe is a quality player, but why do they do things like this? It's nonsense, bro. It's nonsense. They are absolutely deluded. They're deluded. I'm sorry. They're deluded. They're the first fans to laugh at other fans. They need to look at their damn self. I'm so sorry, but I can only banter Arsenal right now. I'm not going to banter Chelsea or anyone else, but I'm sorry. They got where they deserved, didn't it? Got where they deserved. And I'm loving it.
Do you know what? They were trying to banter me, saying that Man City bottled a quadruple. I was like,
this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Why? It's just like...
And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done. Like, honestly, I didn't mind the final being like Arsenal Man United because I think it makes it more interesting. I don't think Villarreal will beat Man United, so I don't think it...
No.
I think it'll be United's now. I think United would have won it anyway. I don't think they would have beaten Arsenal, but it would have made it a little bit more exciting.
Oh, I loved it, yeah.
So I think that's the only thing that it was a bit like I did want them to go through. But I think, it's just madness. Mustafa, you can't bottle something that your club have never even been close to. So let's leave it at that. But anyway, one of them things like that's just ridiculous. But
listen,
I don't get Arteta because if you need a goal, if they'd have conceded one, yes, okay, that out. But they went out anyway. So why not just put on 2 strikers?
I don't get it.
How are you bringing off Aubameyang?
Bringing on William.
30 seconds before.
Yeah, the only player on the pitch who hit the bar twice in the game.
I just make no sense.
William, who has not hit the net once. Not once this season for Arsenal. Wow.
I don't get it. Like in them sorts of situations, you go all for it, you go all guns blazing. And if you lose 1-0 at the other end, then you can hold your hands up and say we tried. But they didn't have that long left. They're at home. You put on 2 strikers, put on 2 strikers and you take someone out of the midfield or I don't know, whatever you need to take out and you put 2 strikers on and they should have taken Partey off because he wasn't doing too much. So take Partey off.
Oh God, he was awful. Honestly, he was awful.
Keep Aubameyang on. Put Lacazette next to him, and tell your fullbacks and stuff to put the ball over the top. And because Arsenal were getting chances, it's not like
Martinelli to push forward, assist. Yeah, so you have Saka, Martinelli, Aubameyang, Lacazette, all attacking. Like, give it everything in the final 10 minutes. What are you doing? Like, that's literally Sir Alex Ferguson tactics, and this is how United used to win games. Like back in the day, like man used to throw on 3-4 strikers.
Yeah.
Like last minute goals, like they used to call it
bundle defense.
Yeah, this is how Fergie time was born. This is how Fergie time came about.
When Man City won the league in 2011-12, we had all 4 strikers on the pitch. Balotelli, Dzeko got the first goal. He was a striker. Tevez was on the pitch. We had Aguero and we had Balotelli. And Balotelli assisted Aguero for the goal that won us the league. 4 strikers on the pitch. I think if I remember correctly, maybe Tevez came off. But we had, at one point in that game, we had 4 strikers on that pitch. And it's like, that's what you do to win games. And that was Mancini. So it's not like it was the best coach ever. I'm not saying I love Mancini, by the way, but, he's not Pep. So it's like, if he can do that, why didn't Arsenal just go for it? You got nothing to lose. Like, there was a game where we had Pellegrini and we needed one more goal to top the group, and he took our striker off because he didn't know that we needed one goal. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you people? Like, just baffles my head sometimes. I don't get that at all.
I think, look, Arsenal, they need to cut ties with Arteta for me. I sympathise with him a little bit because I don't think it's just him. Like, their players aren't good enough. They've got so many mediocre players in that team. But I just think, where are they in the league? 10th. They're not going to get any European football. First time in how many years? It's not good enough. I mean, their home form's been shocking. How many defeats have they had this season? It's not been great. And this is the thing, you know, Arsenal fans, they have to remember they are a big club. I will say that. You know, they've won Premier Leagues. They've won countless FA Cups. They shouldn't be in the position that they're in. And it's sad, really, that it's come to this. Obviously, I'm loving it, but I can see the fans' frustration. I can understand why they want the owners out, because it's not good enough. And I think any other club, United, Chelsea, they would have sacked him a long time. Look at what Chelsea have done. They made a brave decision. No. I think you would have sacked him. I don't. Even Tottenham, we would have sacked him. I mean, we sacked bloody Jose a week before a final. I don't think it's the right decision, but, you know, why are they holding on to this guy? I don't know. I worry for Arsenal.
Who would they replace Arteta with? Like, Nagelsmann's going Bayern Munich. Where is Allegri at the moment?
Yeah, I think they were linked with Allegri.
To be honest, the same way managers are out here rejecting Tottenham, they'll be rejecting Arsenal the same way too.
Yeah, Arsenal are in a worse position than Spurs. Like, I know Arsenal fans were bantering Spurs fans for what they're going through, but Arsenal haven't got a choice either. There's no top manager that will go to that club, especially with the thing with their owners now. Like, there's no way.
The only thing is, I think, because I was listening to some of the calls on the terrace, and one guy was basically saying that this might actually mean the owners could sell up. Because if they don't have any European football, I mean, let's be honest, they've been losing a lot of money anyway. Season after season, not qualifying for Champions League, it's definitely hurting their pockets. So now there's no European football. I don't know, with all the protests and how they're going, and with the links about the Spotify owner and Thierry Henry and stuff, it could happen. And that worries me a little bit. So I don't know. This could all be well and good, but if it means their owners are out and they get new owners in and Arsenal are back, listen, I might have to go into hiding, boy.
or Tanya, like, this might be the time where, while literally like Arsenal and United fans are coming together and trying to push like the toxic people out their club because they want to be on that level again. Like, if Tottenham, like, after coming so close all the time and just always narrowly missing out, that frustration must piss off fans too as well. And that's also to do with ownership as well. So I think while this movement is still fresh, while it's still, I think Tottenham fans need to come together, especially if it comes out that you might lose Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, your two assets, your best players. Then I don't think you guys can afford to sit there and keep quiet about it anymore, especially if you know that this shit is just gonna be
100%. I know we've got a protest on May the 15th. I'm definitely there. I just
It'll
hope
be a proper one this time.
hopefully it's not a little gathering again and a little, you know, we had Ed Sheeran and we had the whole lot there. You know, I hope it's a serious one this time. But no, you're right.
It'll be good if like a lot of you guys are kind of involved in it. Obviously, like Expressions is like a big personality as well. Tottenham fan, Mel, you as well, Toby as well, Holly as well. There's like the two brothers, We Are Tottenham TV, like all of you guys, like, you guys are big influencers. If you guys come together,
stop it, not me.
As in, like, get the word out to your fan base. It's the same way the Arsenal fans, United fans, it's more the influencers that have tried to kind of promote and keep this thing going. It's the same way. It could work. Like, social media, the internet's so powerful, man.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, because someone was saying today, like a Liverpool fan was saying to me, like, because I said something about, you know, people like bending over backwards to discredit Man City, like, you know, saying PSG are like, they're terrible. And I was just like, a few weeks ago they were good, you know. So I just mentioned that, and, you know, people, this Liverpool fan was like, oh, I can see a reason why they dislike you, and then posted like a table, and it showed how much each club's owner has invested. And like Man City are like clear at the top, then it's like Chelsea, then it's There's a few and it's like this is what people are protesting for. That's what they want.
Exactly.
They want their club.
Yeah, do you know, I've never understood this salt towards,
Don't get
oil
it.
clubs.
Don't
I
get
don't
it.
get it at all. Like, I said it on another channel. We all want those kind of owners. Like, don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, this is down to the Premier League with how they handle the TV rights and the money that's involved in the Premier League. You kind of need an owner like Chelsea and City if you want to succeed in this Premier League now. It's not competitive in terms of the money that the clubs are getting. Like it's even, but there are some clubs that are just in dire straits and they need that money for other things. But when you're trying to, in terms of competing at the top, you need your owners to invest every season, and that's what Chelsea and City are doing. Like investing intelligently as well, getting the right people involved, the structure of the club. It's just better.
Exactly.
And everyone wants that. So I don't know why people are so salty about it.
And that's what people are forgetting as well. People just think, oh yeah, they're all company and this and that. But you said it, Rachel, as well. It's the structure as well. The recruitment's right. All of that stuff is there. It's not just about them being rich owners. Everything in place at the football club is right. And
who owns a Big 16 is a rich owner. You kind of have to own that team.
100%.
I don't know. Like, do you know what it is? It's just pure jealousy, isn't it? Really, like. I respect 100%. Chelsea and City as football clubs. Simply, like what City have done, like this, the community and the area around in that part of Manchester is insane. It's absolutely insane, and you have to credit them for it. Like, obviously, as a United fan, I dislike it, but you have to still credit them for it. And I don't like the saltiness. I don't like the saltiness. It's boring.
About this a lot. You're absolutely right. Obviously, you're right, Rach. Big ups to. The thing is, Roman Abramovich has done similar things as well around the community, and it's nice to see that these owners actually care about involving the fans, like what Jan was saying about making the season tickets more affordable for the local City fans, try and get them to more games and stuff. Like that's phenomenal. That's great. When you sit there and you're looking at clubs like Arsenal and their season ticket prices, what the rates that they're charging, you think that they'd be competing, that they'd be winning.
Same with us as well.
Yeah,
ticket prices for the
every single year. It's ridiculous. It's atrocious.
Our ticket prices for how they're going to have fans for the last couple of games. Ours is the most expensive. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Yeah.
I spoke to a Tottenham fan at work the other day. It was like some builders, and they were Tottenham season ticket holders, and they said they had to let their season ticket go because it went to £1,500. Like, I have one of the most expensive season tickets at Man City, and it's £850. That's one of the most expensive. Most City season tickets are £500. Most City season tickets. There's some at City for £250. Like, and this is to watch your team win the Premier League sort of every other season.
Every year.
Do you know what I mean? It's madness. And we already get the most value per goal. I think we pay £8 a goal at Man City. Like
that is nuts.
On average, do you know what I mean? It's mad. It's madness. And it's like, and then you've got Tottenham, who's, I know Arsenal and Tottenham, they're so high, and I know Man United is high, but it's like even them, it's like a little bit in the past they've been paying that trebles. Do you know what I mean? So
it's crazy.
I don't get it. It's madness.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm actually gobsmacked by that.
I'm sorry, I blame the Premier League. Like, this is what cracks me up. They have this sort of moral high ground about Premier League football and how it's for the fans. This is nonsense. The money they charge for Sky Sports is a joke. The money they tried to charge last year when we were all in lockdown and people were going through all kinds of financial struggles, £15 a game, a joke. But then somehow they want to try and make out that it's for the fans. It's nonsense. They're trying to take the moral high ground over the Super League. Like, no. You guys are all as bad as each other. You were just mad that you went at the table. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I just really hope these conversations continue, because the reason why all these protests and all of these things are breaking out right now is because people are starting to realize, hey, you're taking it too far. I know capitalism has become a business, but you're taking it too far now. And we're in a pandemic, so.
Yeah, but it's always going to happen in a capitalist society. It's always been heading towards this point. But unfortunately, the other side of it is so massively hated for various reasons, which some I agree with, of course. But there's two extremes, isn't there? And it's very difficult to have a middle ground. So
that's what a guy was saying, because he was saying because the players' wages are so high and stuff like this, it's not really helping. So everything's about money. And I know it was already about money, but it's just it's got worse at the moment. Like, it's literally now everything is money motivated. And that's why they've tried to do this Super League to like break away. And I know the Premier League was a breakaway in itself a little bit, and the Champions League originally as well. So it has happened before, but I don't know. It just seems to be at the moment. It's just one thing I would say about protests, which is good, is fans are being heard. Like, they are being heard. Like, the clubs are responding. You know, I don't know about the owners. I don't think, like someone was saying the other day about the United Liverpool game. They were like, you know, United are having a protest now, but the owners won't even know that there's a game on because they're just not do football.
So, yeah.
It's just madness. But I'm hoping that, you know, people get heard. We need to stop this new Champions League format that's coming in the 2000s.
Oh,
it's horrendous. It's basically like the Super League.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it? It's shocking.
That needs protesting against. Because I think when fans go back to football, if everyone protests, I think we can get that stopped.
Yeah.
But do you know what the thing is though with it? Like, there are aspects of it I like. I like the idea of it being a Champions League and not a Champions Cup.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I like that idea. And I like the idea of having the opportunity to play against multiple top teams, because I find sometimes in the Champions League, the way it is now, it benefits the big teams way too much because of the seeding. So even like, I think it was Devil in the Details, like Danny, he said that the only new team that's won the Champions League is Chelsea. All the other Champions League winners have been old winners. And when you look at that, and the whole point of the Champions League was to be competitive for the smaller teams as well, to give them a chance in Europe. Yeah, it sort of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? So
and you've got teams that are fifth in their league winning the Champions League. So it's like, it's kind of all the teams that are kind of doing well. So like, say for example, Leicester went and won the league 5 times. You know, Leicester probably still wouldn't win the Champions League over a Liverpool because they've been there, done it. You know, so I don't know. I think they should change it. I agree, but just that whole, you know, getting in without, because that again, like you say, like that just makes it easier for a team who were good once to win it again. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's just unfair. Like, I don't like the whole. Like, I'm very much a person that you should get somewhere on merit. You should get a job on merit. You should
agree.
In a specialized league on merit. I don't think you should get there because of what your club did 15 years ago. It's not acceptable. Get that. Like, if you're good now and you're good enough to get into the Champions League, then you should play in the Champions League. It's like, that's that simple for me. I don't understand this need to just to give certain teams free passes.
It was Champions, wasn't it? You had to win the league or win a cup to get into it. And now it's kind of like, you can not win anything for 50 years and be in a Champions League final because you really scrape 4th by a point, or you can even scrape 4th on goal difference.
Yeah. You know the irony of that though? You know in 98, in 98 they changed that rule from being champions to, I think it was the top 2. And ironically, that was what led to us winning the treble, because we finished second the year before and then we won the treble. Whereas if they kept that format, we would never have been able to win the treble. It's interesting. It's so weird, isn't it? So I agree with you guys and all that.
Yeah, it's really crazy. If you think about it, the teams that are in the top 4 now compared to 20 years ago, who's really still in there apart from Manchester United? That's it.
Yeah.
Crazy. So
that's only because we make so much money, because our revenue is ridiculous. Like, the rest of them, obviously, Chelsea and City are the new big boys that should be getting top 4 every season, really, with the money they have and the squad they have. Yeah. And then obviously the 4th place, I guess it just goes to whoever is just the best of the rest, sort of thing, really. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one, but at the end of the day, Leicester, for example, if Leicester continue to finish in the top 4, they absolutely have a right to compete in the Champions League.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. So to take that away from them is unacceptable, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Should definitely get there. Like, it's like I always said, like, I wanted Man City when they win the Champions League to be champions in England. Like I want us to be like we're the best team in England and the best team in Europe. Not like we're in the Premier League, but we're going to win the Champions League. I just think that's what
Liverpool special. That's what it is. The Liverpool special.
Yeah, but that's like even when Chelsea won it last time, they in the league, I think they finished what was it, 5th or something like that. So it tends to happen. Like that could happen again this year. Chelsea could finish 5th and win it.
Yeah.
It's
we finished 6th that year. The year that we won the Champions League and Di Matteo took over. Yeah, we finished 6th in the league. Yeah, but we still managed to make it in.
Similar to this season and what's happened as well. So it could well happen again. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I think it's that's what I've always said. Like when City win it, I want us to be like, okay, we're the best team. Like not just like, oh, we've had a good run in the Champions League. So we'll obviously see what happens. It's going to be a stressful final.
Although, Jan, you have had a good run in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you guys are the best team in Europe anyway. I think regardless of what happens, I think regardless of what happens, City are the best team in Europe. Honestly, I know Chelsea. If Chelsea win, they'll be the champions of Europe. But let's not get twisted. Like Manchester City are a ridiculously good team. They're miles ahead of everyone, in my opinion.
No way I'm denying that. Absolutely. And even us getting to this final and us even progressing through these stages, we were always going to be the underdogs. It was always people talking about PSG being the favourites, people talking about City being the favourites, and again because of the quality of the players in their team, and again the crazy shaky start that we got off to. We were always seen as the underdogs in this competition. So for us to have turned it around the way we have, the way Tuchel has as well, for us to be here is an achievement in itself. But there's absolutely no denying that City are still predominantly consistently better than us because they've been doing this all season, whereas we've only maybe been doing this at best for half a season.
Yeah, and City have been building for this as well. Like over the last 4 or 5 years, this is what they've been building towards. Their team is very complete now compared to previous seasons, in my opinion. Like they're good all over the pitch. There's no real weakness. Even Zinchenko, who's supposed to be someone that's probably a replaceable player in your team, I think he's been good this season. What I've seen of him, he hasn't put a foot wrong really. So you guys are in a really good place. And then you can go and buy it in the summer just to fill in some holes and get a striker maybe. And then what's going to happen then? Do you know what I mean?
I'm telling you, the league next season is a 2-horse race, mate. I just think no one could compete with Chelsea and City. Probably United, I think, but
we need 3 signings at least to even think of competing. If I'm honest.
You need to make some signings, but I just think Chelsea and City. Oh, I tell you, it's going to be long for the Premier League next season. It really is. I'm not looking forward to it.
Do you know what's mad? Because Chelsea have been really, really good from what I've seen in the Champions League as well. To be honest, especially defensively, so it's definitely going to be like a hard game. But it's weird because I've said a few times Man City are the best team in Europe. And the only reason why I actually say that is because Man City have actually won 11 out of 12 games and we've drawn 1, and the draw that we had was away at Porto in the group stage when we were already top of the group, I think, at that stage. So it's like a lot of our games have been wins, even when we've gone behind and stuff like that. So that's why I said that. But people take that as I'm saying we're way better than Chelsea. That's not what I'm saying.
No, not at all.
In terms of our campaign, one, we're much better in the Champions League than we have been in the league, and secondly, we are unbeaten. So obviously, that means that the final could be that we get beat, because I think the record is 12 games unbeaten.
You're a lot more clinical in front of goal as well than Chelsea. You get goals from midfielders, which we don't either. So,
no, you know what? I kind of disagree with that. I think City have their games where they have a lot of chances and they just miss it. It's shocking. It really is.
But Rachel, we do that even more.
Oh no, I've been saying that to you guys as well. I think it's going to be you guys hitting every single part of the bar and the post. That's what's going to be before one of you eventually gets it in.
Do you know what it is because I think the person who scores the first goal will probably win, and it will be, because I've said it depends on how well each team defends and more clinical. That will be the 2 aspects that it's on. But like I did notice when I watched Chelsea, like it's really obvious that you need a striker. Like it's obvious that Man City need one. Don't get me wrong, you still need one, but it was so much more obvious watching Chelsea. It's like if you had Aguero in that team, that's 7-0. Like you're winning the game.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Even an unfit like Aguero's just come back now. Like he's put in at least 4 of them chances in the back of the net. You know, so it's Mahrez would have put a few away. Like in that game, if that game went exactly the same with Man City players, that would have been like a 6-0. So I think it is more obvious, but like I say, it's a final. One chance, Chelsea take it. They catch us on the break.
Yeah, that's the thing. Can't call it.
But you got to get
imagine this Timo Werner. Imagine this Timo Werner who scores the winner.
Oh my God, scenes, absolute scenes.
Because if you look at the Champions League finals previously, who scored the winners? Coman. It wasn't Lewandowski. It was Coman. I think there's been a few where it's been like, I know obviously there's been like your Ronaldo ones and stuff like that, but a lot of the time it is sort of the player that you don't really expect.
True.
So if there's more than one goal, you might get your main striker or your main player. But if it's like 1-0, you know, it could be a random player that you don't expect. It could be like a Ivanovic or, you know, if it's City, it could be like Fernandinho. Like, you just don't know in these sorts of games. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sorry, I want to have a look at this. It better be a good meltdown. That's what I'm going to say, because if it isn't, I'm going to be really disappointed. Well, that's weird.
Oh my God, wait, that looks...
Pass the ball backwards.
What's this in reaction to? Is that for Willian?
Oh no, I think it's Aubameyang's chance hitting the post. Oh
We
dear.
can't hear it though. I think you're on mute, Rachel.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
His header hits the post. I feel like crying.
Oh, I think it's going to get taken off.
Oh, ball stands it up. I didn't even think about who was going to win it. Oh, it's the post. Oh, what a leap. Keeper's beaten.
Oh no, this is painful. Oh no.
It's Aubameyang getting taken off. I think that's the reaction. It has to be.
I've never been through pain like this watching Arsenal. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm watching. I actually feel sorry for Arsenal. It's talking about. Oh
my God,
you're trying to win the game. No. It's talking about it.
10 minutes
It's a shocking decision.
at the time.
No, I'm done with this team. I hate this club. I hate them.
Oh my God.
He literally just said,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
This was the same reaction that Troops had when he took off.
You take off your best goal scorer. Why do you not leave them both on? Look at it. You're taking a dummy off when you need a goal.
Do you know what? I think that's Pep's fault, you know. I think people have started looking at Pep and thinking we don't need a striker, and it's just not the case.
But you can't be thinking that he has he's got bloody 99p store players. You're not Pep.
Those tactics. Or when I've seen him try a false 9 with that team.
Oh no.
Dumb.
I don't know, man. I think Pep is kind of influencing people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Pep's been doing that, let's be honest. He's literally ruined Twitter. I hope you know this.
But Pep's got the tools. That's the difference, you know.
Yeah,
he's got the tools.
Yeah, I think people are watching because I've seen it all season. Like people watch Man City play out from the back, and sometimes your squad Man City can just about play out from the back. Like we struggle.
Oh, we're awful at it. We're awful.
But everyone tries it, and it's like sometimes you just can't do it. Just don't play out from the back. If you can't do it, don't do it.
No.
Like Edison is a unique goalkeeper. Like Edison is confident on the ball. He doesn't care. He'll do what he needs to do. So Edison can get an assist, but it's like not every goalkeeper can do that. And I think people just need to sort of play to their strengths.
Yeah.
Like watching Man City and thinking, oh, it works for City, it's going to work for us, because playing out the back is a risky game, and that's even for City, it's risky, and we have the players that we can pull it off, but it doesn't always work. We've had times where we've given the ball away, it's gone in 1-0, and then we're struggling against Dortmund. Obviously, Edison comes out, doesn't get the ball. The referee blows the whistle, thinking he knows what he's doing, and obviously they score, but it's not a goal because it was ruled out before. But yeah, it's literally things like that, and that could have gone the wrong way. That could have been given as a goal, which it should have been if the ref didn't blow the whistle. It should have been a goal. And that would have maybe changed. I still think Man City would have come back because they got better after we conceded. But it just, that game could have gone differently. So the way Edison plays is really risky. And, it could lose the Champions League final. It could. But it works a lot more for us than it doesn't. So you have to take that risk and just hope that it works for us. Because as much as Edison could lose us the final, he could also win us the final. So it's one of them. It's risky, but when it works, it's brilliant. When it doesn't, you have to just take the hit. And I think a lot of teams in the Prem, you do see them, like even the bottom of the league teams, like playing out from the back, and it's just like, just get the ball up the pitch.
Oh, not meant to do that, my bad.
It's all right, but we'll wrap up in a second. What I was just going to say, we'll do it close to the time, actually. I was going to say predictions, but we've got 3 weeks, so we'll do it. But yeah, we'll be back next Thursday. Tanya, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Tanya_Leona. You can find me on the terrace, Midnight Vibes with Lambs. And yeah, here, there, and everywhere. I'm sometimes on the Wine and Football Show on Charlotte's channel as well. So yeah, here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It's been a really good show.
No problem.
Yeah, it's been good.
Lambs, where can they find you?
Yeah, I mean, on socials, I'm on Instagram, it's Alami Ahmed. And like Tanya said, here, there, and everywhere on the Midnight Vibe Show, on the Football Terrace, on the One Football Show, on Charles' channel, Strong TV, the Ladies Show on GNA TV and on GNA TV in general. And also have my own channel called
Yes, pick up your channel, please. Yes, subscribe to Lambs.
Did a recent reaction video to our victory against Real Madrid. So yeah, as you can imagine, I'll be pretty happy with that. So and like Tanya said, I'm just here, there, and everywhere on a few people's channel here as well on the Offside Rule. Yeah, it's just too many to list, honestly. But
yeah, you are everywhere, Lambs, honestly.
Yeah.
Rachel, where can they find you?
Oh yeah, you can obviously find me on the First XI, bringing out some new shows. We're going to be doing tweets of the week, so we're going to be basically taking the piss out of people with bad takes, and there's a lot, believe me. And we're going to be doing an audience show, so basically it's literally the audience picks the topics, and we're just going to discuss it. It can be questions, it can be just a random statement or whatever. So that one should be really interesting as well. But you can find me on Twitter and Insta. Yeah, Twitter and Insta at the Devil's Avocado. But yeah, the audience one should be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see some ridiculous statements made. I know Prime's going to be the king of that show. But you know what Prime's like. But, yeah.
I've seen the wildest takes recently about everything. So yeah, you'll have a lot of content for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you can find me here every Thursday. You can find me on Sarcasm City mainly, or on Yan City ENT. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and yeah, come back tomorrow because on Friday it's, what's it called? I always forget.
Fraud Watch.
Yeah, Fraud Watch.
Yeah, Fraud Watch.
All right, so yeah, come back and check that out tomorrow. Is it 10 o'clock?
10:30, whenever Prime turns up, basically.
Yeah,
it's basically the Clown Fiesta show, if I'm being honest with you. It's just, yeah, usually Prime's fault again.
Yeah, come back at 10 or 10:30 tomorrow to check that out, and we will see you guys later.